Welcome to Insight Builder channel. Introducing Pydantic AI Agentic Framework. Part 2. How to build LLM agents effortlessly with Pydantic AI. In the series, we have been seeing how to use Pydantic AI to build the agents. And if you have seen the part 1, we discussed on the basic agent. And here we are going to discuss on the simple agent and the intermediate agent, where the context is discussed. So without further ado, let us dive into the demo as well as into the code. This is the simple tool agent that I am talking about. If you have reviewed the earlier video, the agent in that basic agent doesn't have any tools. But in this case, we have a tool and we are going to see how this is going to be different. Let's begin with the demo. The setup, the package details, etc. has been discussed in the earlier video. So take a look at that for a better understanding of what's happening in this video. I have just broken up the video so that it will be easier for everybody to consume it and understand what's happening. Now, the idea of this video is that we have to try to give a sentence to the LLM and it has to return back to us the split words and the count. So I am going to simply ask, just provide the count of words in the sentence. There are many new players in the LLM ecosystem. This is the input that I'm going to provide, and just to make it a little bit easier, I'm going to split the window, and you can see that we have the execution happening in this area, in this terminal. So I'm going to submit it, and you can see the execution has started and the catch status is empty. And you can see that it is using the tool word count. It has given me the word as 9. So there are many new players in the ecosystem, in the LLM ecosystem. So it is told that the sentence has 9 words and it has used the tool word count. I'll be telling you what exactly these things are. Okay. So the demo we are continuing, and we will be looking at how this count is happening right now. So I'm going to split and count. So earlier I just only got the count of words. Now I'm going to split and count. So let us submit this, and you will see that it is using the split and count tool, and it has actually taken this as a sentence and it has split it into a list, and it is also giving me the count of the words. And if you look at this update here, you can see the catch has been updated. So catch is basically a dictionary which contains the words as a list, and the count has 5. So how are these things happening, and how the natural language that I am asking is converted into tool calls, right? So that is something that we need to understand. So let us dive into the code, and before we completely start interacting with the code, I want to show one part of it, that is how the agent looks once all the tools are linked to it. So I'm going to print it, and I'm going to print the agent, in this case tool agent, and I'm going to print it as the dict format. If you just print the tool or print any of the agent without the dict format, it will just give you the address of that particular agent, not the actual input or not the actual structure of it. So let us execute this again. I'm going to only show you the script right now. I'm not going to do any demo, just I'm going to review the output. So here you can see that the entire agent details have been printed out. Right, just give me a second. And okay, so I'm going to make some modification. I'm going to import from rich import print, just to make it a little more easier for us to read, because here you see that the output is not that good. So I'm going to change it right now to print it with help of rich print. Let me execute this again, and now you see that the entire structure is a little bit different. So you see that now the same thing that got printed earlier as a blob of text, now it is properly structured because I'm printing it through the print module in rich. Now the model chosen has been shown, and you can see that the function tools, this is where the actual fun starts. You can see all the parameters, okay, the model settings, result schema, the name, etc. So these are the varieties of parameters that you can give it to the agent. And here comes the function tools. So there are two function tools, that is split and count, that we saw right now. And the split and count takes your text, it is actually required, and it tries to give two things. It returns the sentence as a list of words along with the count. So this is what the description says. And next tool that is available is the word count, which is again a function that is located at this address. So this is the main point I wanted you guys to understand, that these functions are already there in the code, and it is getting referred by the tool whenever it is required to be called. And you can see the text is again required, and the output also is updated. And you can also observe that your text and this parameter details that I am providing is important for the LLM to extract this value. So that is how it is able to tell that I am talking about this text. So LLM is able to extract this because I have properly mentioned it here. Okay, and that is how the entire agent works. And this is very similar to how you will send in a tool if you are working with the inference models. So if you are working with any of the inference clients like OpenAI, Anthropic, or whomever it is, you will be creating these kinds of tools manually, and then you will be creating these parameters, etc., and then sending it into the inference client, right? But here Pydantic helps you to do that, and in a more streamlined fashion. That's what I wanted you guys to see first. Second, what I wanted you guys to understand is that how the catch works. In case of the simple tool, I have included something called as context. Okay, and if you look at this particular definition, split and count function definition, the first argument of the function definition is ctx, and it is of type RunContext. This RunContext is getting imported from Pydantic AI. You can see that here, right? So this context can be of any user-defined type, or it can be inbuilt type like dictionary, string, or integer. In our case, it's going to be a dictionary. So I have informed to the agent or the tool that it is going to be of type dictionary. So I'll be discussing this little more advanced applications in the coming videos. If you guys have any questions, do let me know in the comment. The point I want to make here is that there are examples already available in the Pydantic AI website also. But what I'm doing is I'm taking that examples and I'm breaking it in such a way that you can understand what problems each part of the Pydantic AI modules solve. Okay, I believe that you are understanding how these things are coming together. Do let me know in the comments if you have any questions. Here I am also updating your text argument, which is optional string, and it can be none also. Why this is required is if in case when you are going to create a tool and you are going to assign it to the agent, it might actually error out time to time looking for your text parameter inside your input. So this was happening, so that is why I am making it as optional. And the description is important. Here is where the catch is getting used. So the catch is coming from ctx.deps. This ctx.deps is coming again. If you scroll down, I will show you where it is coming from. So it is coming from this run_sync, and you can see this extra argument that I'm sending, deps equal to catch. So this is where it is coming from. So this catch variable that you see here, it is simply a dictionary that I have created in line number 49. Yep, it's a simple dictionary. It can be a list, it can be any other type that you want to create. You can also create data classes, and you can create instances of those data classes, and you can make this as context. if you look at the examples like bank support or SQL agent, etc. in Pydantic, they use these kinds of contexts with data classes. It can be a little confusing in the beginning, but understanding this basic step, like context is nothing but a variable, Python variable with Python specific inbuilt type or user defined type. Again, user defined or inbuilt Python types are nothing but classes. Keep this in mind, you will be able to solve a lot of problems. In this case, what I've done is, let us go back again up. So we were discussing on the catch. So we know where the catch is coming from, and we know that ctx.depth is nothing but a dictionary, right? And here I am informing to the user that, let us actually split it. I am informing the user that what tool is being used. So you see that when the intermediate agent is called, so I say split and count tool is used. You see that here, right? So that is coming from this area. The purpose of showing the output along with the input is very important. You need to understand that each and every line of Python code has some or the other purpose. It's there for a reason, right? You need to know what purpose it is working for. Next, so if you look at it here, if your text input parameter is empty, then it will say that it needs a sentence for splitting and counting. That is, it means that if I just say split and count, and if I don't give a sentence, then it will actually raise this error to me or ask me the sentence. You have to make the agent a little more intelligent also, but giving this kind of proper if-else conditions in your tools can make it much more customized to the user, and also it can take care of a lot of unforeseen challenges that the model itself raises. So wherever you can control the outputs, control it by yourself using Python. If not, then give it to the agent. That's very important. Next, here I am first checking whether the text that is given is in the catch. So this is basically going to check whether the sentence is already provided is in the catch. So if you go scroll up, the catch is basically a dictionary, and this catch is going to have the entire sentence as my key. Okay, and if the same sentence is given to me again, then the catch stored data, the words and the count will be returned to me. So in this way, I will avoid using the function call again altogether. So this is a way to speed up, and it also can be used as a kind of a memory. So keep these ideas for updating your concepts, your examples, and working on new types of products. So these simple things can give you a huge amount of opening and freedom. You can see that I am returning from the catch your text, the words and catch your text count. So that is how it's working. This is an age-old trick, guys. It's nothing new that I'm using. I am just taking it from dynamic programming, where I can speed up the algorithms by using a catch. So that's where this idea is coming from. If the text is not in the catch, then I will be splitting the text again manually, and then before I send the split text words and the length of the split text, I will be adding it to the catch. That's how it works, and then I'm returning it here. So it's that's how the intermediate tool works. Correct. Now let us go back and let us look at a tool that doesn't use the context. Even if the tool, the word count, you see the tool here on line number 36, the tool doesn't use the context. You can see the CTX argument is not highlighted. That is because there is the catch is not used anywhere, and it is just simply splitting the text, and it is returning the length of the split text. Why I am showing you the demarcation is, whether you are using the RunContext or not, you have to provide the first variable or the first argument for the tool function as CTX and run context, or else it will not work. The Pydantic agent AI code will throw an error. Keep that in mind. That is the reason why I'm showing this part. We understood the context and how it is being used, and the overall code that is shown here in the while true loop is going to be very similar to the regular Python logic, that we are going to create a kind of a chatbot interface by using this while loop using PyWebIO interface. I'm just asking the prompt, and the tool agent is already having the necessary tools inside itself. So depending on the prompt and depending on the catch, the output will be modified. So I would like you guys to explore this by running this entire script. It's a pretty straightforward script that you can take a look. So in this video, we have looked at the both simple agent without any context and the intermediate agent with context, and how they interact with the context. So we have seen that in detail. We have seen both the demo as well as the background information on the code. So I believe that this video has been helpful. Do leave a comment, and if you have any questions or queries, do subscribe to my channel for further updates on similar kind of videos. With that said, I would like to leave this video with 4 words, that is practice, 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 practice.